Hello, and once again, welcome to the Oz Boxing Predictions, Volume 43. Yeah, let's go straight to the first fight I want to predict. It's a British heavyweight title fight, and it takes place on the next Friday in Edinburgh, and Gary Cornish is fighting Sam Saxton. Yes, Gary Cornish, as you may know, was annihilated previously by Anthony Joshua in one round. And before that, he looked quite promising. He's a 6'7" Scot who I guess can punch, but he doesn't have that many knockouts. 12 of 24 victories. Half of his wins are by knockout. And after he lost to Joshua, he seemed to take a little bit like a backward step. And he won 3 fights on points in 6 rounders. And all against really poor opponents also. And now he's fighting for the British title. He's actually never fought for a British title before, even though he won the IBO Intercontinental title previously. Yes, he is a much taller guy, of course. Sam Saxton is 6'2". He gives up 5 inches in height, and I don't know how big a reach Cornish has. But anyway, Saxton is definitely not a puncher. He's got, at least his record indicates that. I haven't seen that much of him, I must admit. Anyway, he has only 9 knockouts in 23 wins. And he was knocked out by David Price in 2012. But actually, he's one of who went the longest against Price in a losing fight against him. So, yeah, he was also stopped by Derek Chisora in 9 rounds in 2010. His best victories were both against Martin Rogan, who was then undefeated. And yes, he was also stopped by Chisora in 2008. So, since then, he has mostly also fought the weak opponents. And he's 33, and while Cornish is 30, so I'd favor Cornish to win this, yes. Yeah, since it's a 12-round fight, I believe Cornish may win by stoppage, perhaps in 8 rounds. He does have some power, definitely, and he's so big, It will be very difficult to fight him for for Saxton because of his height. There is an extreme height difference. So, well, rather extreme anyway. So I guess TKO or a decision victory for Cornish, perhaps. It depends on how. Yeah, I think this fight will answer a lot of questions. I guess all questions mostly about Cornish. Whether he really has what it takes to become a good contender. I don't think he can really be a serious threat to a world title holder, but who knows? He's kind of too big and too clumsy for that, but this is the age of big giant heavyweights anyway. So yeah. So I guess Cornish. My bet is that he can win by a late stoppage, perhaps 8th, 9th round, 10th maybe. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Then there are some more fights in England, but none are so interesting. And the next fight is an Asian fight. It's in China, Hong Kong, on Saturday, 7th October, between Rex So, the undefeated super flyweight from China, the Wonder Kid, and Kohei Kono, the Japanese. Kohei Kono has briefly held the WBA super flyweight title. He beat Koki Kamera, actually. He is one of the few who beat that guy. Only Won Jong Kam also beat Koki Kamera. He's actually held the WBA title twice, but first time very briefly when he defeated Teparit Kokiatin. So, Kono is, he's not a bad puncher, I guess. He's also knocked out Ben Carlson, Kalwichit, a world champion also, and he was stopped by Naoya Inoue last year. He's definitely the best fighter that So has so far fought. And So won his last fight against Hirofumi Mukai in March this year by knockout. Yeah, I guess both guys are about equal in power, but So is undefeated, even though Kono has definitely fought better opponents so far. Yes, So is 30 years old and Kono is older by 6 years. So is the taller guy by an inch and a half, and also has 2 inches height advantage. Yeah. Since the fight is in So's hometown, Hong Kong, and if the fight goes the distance, he's the favorite. But I guess I don't know. Conor is a really good fighter, but last year he wasn't that successful, and this year he won a fight against a guy who never fought before. So I guess I'm leaning slightly more towards So because to win on points, because Conor is getting on in age a bit, even though perhaps he's the better fighter. I don't know. He may be. So, but I think it will be a close fight. So may win on a split decision or majority decision. I don't think he will stop Conor. Conor has only been stopped once, and it was by Inoue, of course, the monster. So I think, yeah, a split decision, I'd say, for Rex. So, okay, I used up a lot of time. I better hurry up now. We move on and to Stuttgart, where there's first round of the super middleweight super series, Super 8 quarterfinal between Chris Ewbank Jr. and Avni Yildirim. This is a fight that I really waited for Ewbank to fight. A guy like Yildrim, because he's been fighting mostly guys, that were either too old or, just not good enough for him to beat him. So, especially since he became a super middleweight, he beat Arthur Abraham, of course. That was a one-sided, rather sad fight. And it was obviously Abraham just didn't have anything left in him to against a younger and faster, more athletic guy. But this time, this guy Yildirim, he is 26, so he's actually a little younger even than Ewbank, 2 years. And he is about equal in height and reach to Ewbank. And yeah, in his last fight, he beat Marco Antonio Periban, who is still a rather good contender, a world class, certainly. And he's beaten Aaron Pryor Jr. and Schiller Hippolyte by TKO. So yeah, this is a really good challenge. And since Yildirim is Turkish, but he is based in I guess in Germany. Anyway, yeah, his promoter is Ahmet Öner, and the fight is in Germany, so he will have the crowd on his side definitely. And Eubank Jr. is not the most popular fighter. Anyway, yeah, both guys are pretty offensive. I guess Eubank is slightly more athletic and technically more polished fighter, I'd say. But it will be a really tough fight for him, I think. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. I don't think there's such a big possibility of a knockout happening because Yildirim hasn't really beaten anyone that is top, elite level by a knockout. And even though he definitely can punch, but so can Eubank, of course. I think I favor Ewbank, in this fight. If he really pulls off a great performance, then I can see him stopping Yildirim late, I guess, like he did against Chudinov. So, but anyway, he should, unless the judges screw him, I think he wins, most likely by a rather close decision. Yes. Okay. Moving on. The next fight is just trying. Sorry, this takes some time. Yeah. The next interesting fight is between Anthony Crolla and Ricky Burns. The two guys that need, suffered losses recently, and this is like a sort of recuperative fight almost to see where how much they got left. Yes, Ricky Burns. Um, this fight is in Manchester, so it's on Crawler's turf. Crawler is a slightly younger guy with 4 years, with a little less mileage on him, I guess. And yeah, he's been actually he's looked more impressive in the last couple of years than Burns. Even though Burns had a few stoppage victories against not so bad fighters, but anyway, Crawler is, I think, favored to win here because Burns is not a puncher, of course. Um, Especially not at lightweight. He has some power, I guess, but it's not. It's only against guys that don't have a good chin and are, not so good that he can win by a knockout. So forget the Kevin Mitchell fight. That was just bullshit. A freak accident. Anyway, Crawler. Yeah, I trust he is good enough to boxer to outbox Burns, and he's fast. He's faster than Burns, and he's not as tall and therefore not as awkward and as and clumsy as Burns. He's just the right size for a lightweight. Burns has always been too tall for a lightweight and especially super featherweight. So I imagine Crawler will outbox Burns. Burns looked, really pretty poor in his last fight against Indongo. So I'm not certain how good a fight he will give Crawler, but I'd be really surprised if he managed to pull off a victory, especially by a stoppage. But you never know, of course. But anyway, Crawler is the favorite, so I'd bet on him to win by decision, because Burns has never been stopped yet, and he's fought harder hitters than Crawler is, so it's logic. So yeah, Crawler will win. Decision. Unanimous. Yeah, well, Sam Eggington is also fighting. He's a quite exciting fighter, for a British fighter especially. They are not exactly all known for being really, really aggressive in when fighting European or world level fighters anyway. But Eggington is I guess he's a puncher, one can call him that. So he's defending the European title that he won in his last fight here, and against a guy called Mohamed Mimoun, France, not a puncher. So yeah, Mimoun. I guess Eggington will win. I think again, perhaps by stoppage. And yeah, so Scott Carl, he's had a fight, but the opponent is not yet revealed. Yeah, Jordan Thompson. So anyway, I think I will just finish right there because this video is getting a little too long. So anyway, that was all for from me this time. See you. Bye bye.